lads and ladies, children of all ages, how are you doing this fine Thursday evening? It's hot one out there tonight, and it's hot in here. We need to get this air conditioning fixed. We're going to die. Imagine mid-August, it's going to be like frying eggs on my head as we're doing this show. But so this show, Conversations at the Helm, it's all about talking to people. So we're going to ask that you call in, and we're going to ask that you give your opinion. And we've been sharing this all over the Crystal Coast land because this is a topic that's near and dear to everyone's heart. Everybody around here has got a boat, and everybody goes out to Cape Lookout on the weekends. And guess what? Last year when we made our inaugural voyage out there, we saw all the markers were torn down and it said shoals. And so people have now kind of taken in and they put in their own little marks there. There's a traffic cone over here, and there's a PVC pole over here that's painted green, and we just kind of did it, but they still had the last few marks out there. Well, guess what? Last week before, something like that, the Coast Guard put out a press release that they want to remove the rest of the marks out to Cape Lookout. Now, there's a lot of misinformation about that out there, so we thought we would get to the bottom of what was going on, and we thought we'd do a show about this because people are very passionate in one way or another. I mean, they don't want to waste tax dollars, but at the same time, I want to get to my Cape Lookout spot. There's fishing out there, there's swimming out there, there's shelling out there, and there's a great big lighthouse out there that people love to climb up. It's an awesome tourist resource. It's a fun little place to spend the day, to go driving off road onto the beach. Everybody around here's got something that they love about that place. So to find out that it's going to be even more difficult to get out there, that yielded some pushback from the public, I think. So Facebook, that's where I found out about it. There was a bunch of pages that are posted up there about people complaining about it and signed the petition and whatnot. And I really wanted to know what's the story behind this. So I called up the Coast Guard and I got and arranged an interview. And I stopped down there, and they were very, very polite to me, and they gave me an interview, and we've recorded that interview, and we have that for you tonight exclusively. We have met up with the Coast Guard, and they have explained the whole story. Now, before you start running off, I'm hoping that you'll hear the full story, and when we finish playing this thing, you'll have hopefully a better understanding of what's going on, and then we can ring the dinner bell and you can scream at me and yell at me and tell me I'm a moron all you want, but at least I put the full story out there and we'll see what we can do. How about that? Yeah? Okay, so it's 3 minutes past the hour right now. The phone number we're going to have to call today, why can't I remember that? It's 252-499-0087 is the number to call tonight. Don't call right now. The numbers aren't open right yet now. But we're going to open the lines after we play this video, and I'm hoping it's going to blow up. Now, the rules for tonight is you can say what you want and want what you say, but remember, you're being recorded, and we're all friends here. We're all neighbors. We love each other. We're brothers in Christianity and all that good stuff. So don't be insulting to anybody for their opinion. But other than that, you can say what you want. Oh, and the other thing is we've got some politics going on that are here, and we're going to brush right up against that line of, government spending, but leave the federal people, which is to say the guy that's in the White House, leave him out of this conversation. He's not here. He has not officially got anything to do with this. This is all a bureaucratic thing. And if we're going to get it fixed and get what the people want to have happen, we got to focus on the issues here, which is how do we get the Barden's Inlet to get dredged, or how do we just let it go by the wayside? And that is the question that we're going to deal with tonight. So, without further ado, I'm going to ask my lovely board operator, Jennifer, my wife. Jennifer, without further ado, play the tape. Well, they say no one likes the government until you need it, but what happens when the government isn't there to protect you? That's what may happen later this year if the Coast Guard gets the go-ahead to remove all but the outermost buoys at Cape Lookout's Barden Inlet. With rumors flying around and Facebook blowing up with petitions to keep Barden Inlet open, we thought it better to go to the source and find out what the actual story is behind the closure of Barden Inlet. We spoke with Chief Petty Officer Chris Winters in the Office of Aids to Navigation in Fort Macon in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina, and this is what he had to say.
Last year, primarily the reason why the Coast Guard would discontinue aids to navigation in the area would be that the waterway becomes unstable, unsafe, or unmarkable for us. We have very specific criteria which are required to be able to mark a safe, navigable area for the boating public to use. And if that waterway becomes unstable, unmarkable, or unsafe, we're required to take action to limit the liability for the Coast Guard as well as keep the boating public safe. That's our primary focus and mission, is keeping people safe out there.
Future safety is one concern, but for many it's part of the history of the area that has them wondering, why now?
So back in the day when Harker's Island, the ferry terminal was first established, they actually cut a route out to the lighthouse, and that hasn't been serviced or repaired since 2013, I believe. So in the area known as the S-turns, that area now is marked by kind of a local's A-10 navigation area through there, and the old federal channel is now marked Danger Shoal, because the depths in there are less than 2 feet.
Right.
And so there's not enough area there for us to be able to mark unless the National Park Service or the Army Corps were to go in there and conduct some maintenance in that area to make the channel deep again.
Winters says it's not just neglect that's causing the problems, it's also the recent hurricanes and environmental shifts that are causing major decisions to have to be made about the future of Barden Inlet.
As far as the rest of the inlet, which has been marked since we converted the S-turns or the Harker's Island East Channel to the Danger Shoal aids, after the last survey and following Hurricane Florence, our channel that was through there was no longer deep enough to mark safely. There was depths as low as 2 feet during low tides. We've been back out and we've received some feedback from the public. And so the Army Corps of Engineers is going to go out there and conduct a hydrographic survey in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to hold off on any action in the remainder of the inlet until that survey is back.
But if you are one of the local residents who's up in arms about this upcoming decision, Winters says, fear not. It's not a done deal quite yet.
The word shut down is kind of inappropriate. All we'd be doing is removing our ATON and saying that we can't guarantee a safe path here.
Right.
Now, the average recreational boater is allowed to go out there and they can go wherever they want to. We're just saying that the Coast Guard can't guarantee that the waterway is safe or this is a good route to get through the area. Yeah. But we can't shut the inlet down. We're not telling you where you can and can't go. Right, that's not how it works. I mean, the waterway is the waterway. The ocean is the ocean. People can go wherever they please. We just try to provide safe channels when we can. Yeah. And if we no longer are able to do that, we remove the ATON, let the public know through the means of which we have been doing it. And then once the aids come out, it's kind of take your own risk, and that's totally allowed and acceptable, and people are going to do it regardless. So yeah, it's beautiful out there.
But Winters is going to live by Semper Paratus as long as he's on duty. They'll come and get you, even if you're not in the channel.
The inlet is still accessible from the outside, and there's no plan to remove anything after buoy 7. So 1 through 7 will exist, come around the outside of the inlet and get you to the lighthouse bay, to that area still with a marked federal navigable channel, because the waterway is deep and stable. Beyond that, the water gets shallow and it gets deep, but the Coast Guard has made rescues in non-marked channels before, and I would imagine that the station and their assets will continue to do so as long as they can safely get in there and save people.
And while some may be dismayed at the idea of closing Barden Inlet, it's nice to know they are still out there protecting our coastline. For Conversations at the Helm, I'm Captain Christopher German. And we're back. So, you saw what the Chief Petty Officer, Winters, had to say. He's a nice guy, and he's been doing his darndest to protect the coast for a very long time. So don't shoot the messenger. He didn't make the decision to close Barden Inlet, but he was the sucker that got stuck talking to me in there. And he did make a point during this interview. He said, you know, there is all kinds of people above him that make the decisions on which ones to shut down, and he mentioned Carolina Beach has something going on, and I know other places in the country have, especially on the eastern seaboard, they have things that are being shut down. So that's the question, is you locals out there, tell me what you think. Do you think Barden Inlet should be abandoned? So they're not going to take the outer marks out, which is 1 through 7. And if you've been out there, you know which one's buoy number 1. That's right at the corner as you're coming in. And then there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But 7 all the way in is going to be removed unless they can figure out a way to dredge it and make it safer. And so the Army Corps of Engineers is going to go out there and they're going to do a hydrographic survey, and they're going to tell us what's what. Is it going to be dredgeable? And that's the thing, is it's the National Park Service that's going to have to dredge it, or the Army Corps is going to have to dredge it, but the Coast Guard's not going to dredge it. So this is something that we're going to have to talk to our elected officials about. Now, guess what? We don't have a congressman right now. We're not going to have a congressman for a couple more weeks in any way. And quite frankly, the idea of the people that are coming in Congress are not going to spend a lot of money on projects like this. So that really does impact who we vote into office here. Is there going to be somebody that's going to be committed to saving Barden's Inlet, or are they going to say, you know what, we don't have the money to save Barden's Inlet? So this is our chance, world. This is our chance. Eat Crystal Coast and Carteret County and, hey, Craven County, we'll bring you in on the thing too. And if you've got an opinion, give us a call. And Jennifer, would you fire that number up over there and let's see the world? Yeah, so give us a call now, 252-499-0087, and that's a Google number. You'll call, you'll give your name, and we'll let you come on air. We're not screening any calls here, so if you're calling as a crazy person, we'll just hang up on you. But if you do have an opinion on Barden Inlet, should we scrap it or should we save it? Do we have the money as taxpayers to keep Barden Inlet open? Do we have a reason to? Is there enough economic interest in the Cape Carteret Lighthouse to spend the millions of dollars it's going to cost to be able to dredge that thing out there? My board op here is shaking her head no. And I think my wife thinks we should just let it set it up and be done with it. Right?
No, you called it the Cape Carteret Lighthouse.
Oh, yeah, the Cape Carteret Cape Lookout Lighthouse. She's not actually registered an opinion on this right now. She's just corrected me, and I keep doing that. But I haven't called it the Cape Outlook Lighthouse yet, have I? I've only called it the Cape Lookout Lighthouse. I always get that wrong. Outlook, Lookout, you know, what are you going to do? PFD, PDF, you know, all that kinds of stuff. Well, we got a couple people that are watching, I think. I started a watch party for all my friends. And let's see what's going on here. Is anybody watching? Is anybody paying attention? Does anybody have an opinion on the Barden Inlet? Oh, I'm sure you do, because there's a ton of people out there that signed a petition and they said don't shut it down. So the question is those people that are so vocal on Facebook, will they get on here? Will they give us a call and will they talk to us on air and get their opinions be heard? I do hope so. Let's see. Well, nobody's commenting yet. You don't have to actually call in. If you decide you would like to comment on this, we do have, see, Jan Howard just joined us, and she's got an opinion, I'm sure. She's my mother-in-law, and she has an opinion about a lot of things. Sometimes you don't even have to ask her, and she'll give you her opinion. But I love her dearly for it, just the same. Tell me, Jan, give us a comment. What do you think we are going to do about Barden's Inlet? Should we keep the inlet open? You've been out there, I believe. You've taken a boat ride out there, at least. I think at least one. If you haven't, we have to do it the next time you're down here. But what do you think? Should we shut this thing down, or should we just let it keep going? Now, when they shut it down, here's what they're going to do. Is they're going to get rid of all of the government marks that are out there. So those shoal marks, they'll eventually go away. The buoys, they're gone. They're going to clear everything out. And I asked them, I said, you know, what if people decide to put their own marks out there? Because that's what we're doing around here right now, is they'll put their own marks out there. And they said, you know, we're not going to complain too much. If it's a hazard to navigation, we got to pull it out of there. And you can appeal to put private marks in. So it could be a privately marked channel, and the people of Harkers Island can potentially take over the responsibility of marking the channel out to the lighthouse if they find it that, you know, compelling of a reason to do so. So I would think that wouldn't be such a bad idea, is maybe we get a buoy force over there and get a half dozen buoys, and maybe there's a state thing that we could do, and we can get some funding from the state and get some buoys together, and plunk them down in there and keep it open, and then the shrimpers and the fishermen will find their way in out of there, and the people that are enjoying this will they'll do it. And Jan says, keep it open. She likes it. And I am inclined to agree with her because, well, she's my mother-in-law, and if I tell her no, then I'm in a lot of trouble. No, I'm kidding. She's wonderful. But yeah, I'm kind of in favor of it is open. It's been open for a long time. We can't come up with some kind of resources to keep it going. Why not? I'd like to know that. But it's not always my opinion. In fact, it's not my opinion at all. And I'm told it is time to take a break. So, without further ado, we're going to ask you to call 252-499-0087 is the number to call. Give us a holler. Tell us what you think, and we will do our best to get you all on air. But we got to take a break first, so come right back after the break. Thanks.
Hey, welcome to Alaska Local Music. I'm here. I'm Lance here with Chris Talley.
How's it going, Lance?
What's going on?
What are you into? And he's like, I'm actually a rapper. And I was like, oh snap, that's dope because
Yeah, I've seen that on Facebook.
It's great to have someone that supports you and be behind you.
oh yeah, yep, exactly.
And we're back. Thank you so much. This is Conversations at the Helm. I'm Captain Chris German, and this is the Charted Life TV, and we're talking about Barden Inlet tonight. That's the subject du jour. Do you care about Barden Inlet? Do you care about the natural wildlife out there? How about if we reduce the driving out there, reduce the traffic out there? Then perhaps the birds could be, find better nesting. This is the land that developed the bumper sticker that says, I love piping plovers fried with sweet tea. There's not a lot of folks that are very sympathetic to the piping plover population around here. But there are a lot of people nationally that are caring about these birds, and quite frankly, we have a phenomenal population of birds out here. So, from an environmental perspective, it's not such a bad idea to reduce the traffic out there. But will it really be reduced? Because he did say it's not going to be. It's not like they put a road closed sign out there. It's not like they say, okay, yeah, nobody goes out there anymore. What they'll do is they'll just get rid of the buoys, and we have enough GPSs as mariners out there, and we know exactly where the turns are and where the buoys used to been, as they like to say. So, you can just follow your old path there. The problem is, take like what just happened with Hurricane Florence that came through here, all that got moved around, and that's the issue. A bunch of the sandbars washed over, and there's spots where it's only 2 feet deep now. So they have to go through and they'd have to dig all that out. Or you're just going to have to wait till the tide comes in, and you're going to have to know where to go, and eventually it'll etch itself back out there. It's been around for eons and eons and eons, so we'll see what we'll do. But it's not necessarily about what I think. I want to know what you think. So give us a call. 252-499-0087 is the number to call, and it's a Google phone number, so you can call that in, and we will be able to pick you up, and we'd love to hear from you if you have an opinion on that. So I'm sure around here you sit at the store long enough, you're bound to hear somebody's opinion come up. And generally speaking, when you're trying to get your orange soda with your French fries and you're trying to be out of the building right now, you don't want to hear everybody's opinion. This is the time for the opinion sharing, and so we would love to hear your opinion about Barden Inlet. Have you been out there? Do you have any good stories about Barden Inlet? Maybe that's where you learned to fish out there. Maybe that's where you've been going out picnicking for years. There's a huge population of people around here that go out and they anchor out there on a beautiful summer day, and then there's just a line of traffic that comes back in the nighttime when they all head back in. So, and we've been out there. We went out there with our boat last year, anchored, and it was a 4th of July weekend, I guess it was. And there must have been, 150 boats anchored out there, and the Coast Guard anchored smack dab right in the middle of everybody. But it was absolutely beautiful because all of the boats had their anchor lights up. When the Coast Guard parks next to you, you put the appropriate lights out, and it wasn't in a designated anchorage, so everybody put their anchor lights up, and it was a beautiful night until about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I had just happened to fall asleep staring at the stars, and my lovely wife abandoned me and went down below and left me there. And about 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard, and I started to get lifted off of the foredeck as the world's largest pterodactyl mosquitoes decided they were going to drain me of all my blood and take the dead carcass back home for the kids to eat. And so I managed to ward them off as best I can, covered myself in a blanket, despite the 95-degree heat with a 99% humidity, and me and the dogs went back down there and laid in bed with Jennifer. And she wasn't asleep at all because she was sweating too, and the mosquitoes were downstairs as well. And so we got up, we muscled through. I think we had like 10 minutes of sleep that night. We muscled through till about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I said, let's pick up the hook and go home. I'm tired. This is miserable. And we were supposed to stay for like 2 days there. We just stayed an overnight. And unfortunately, and this is the sad post-log to the story, about a month later, the boat was decimated by Hurricane Florence, and we never got to do it again. So maybe we should have stayed out there. But we'll get the boat back again eventually, and if this television station is successful, we'll buy another boat, and, we'll do that some more. But that's all dependent upon the advertisers, and that's what I'm going to talk about at the break in the half hour. But right now, we're talking about Barden's Inlet. Should it close? Talk to us live on air. 252-499-0087 is the number to call. It's about 22 minutes past the hour, and we would love your calls. We would love to get a chance to hear your opinions. So it's a free call. It doesn't cost you anything. All you got to do is dial in 252-499-0087. And I promise to be polite to you if you do call. I won't say anything nasty, and we don't have any sound effects to make you feel bad about yourself. It's all a very loving environment here, and we'll take your opinions. So give us a call at 252-499-0087. Now, if you're watching this on Facebook and you say, well, I'm sick of being on Facebook, I want to do something else, you can actually listen to this thing, and that's where my background comes from, is radio. So you can actually go in and go down to, there you go. You got that cool logo up there. Look what you're doing. That's really cool. But you can go ahead. My wife's having fun with the board right now. I'm not there anymore. What happened to me? You can watch this on our website, www.thechartedlife.net/TV. In fact, you can watch all of our programming on television now, or on the website now. It was a little frustrating for us because we couldn't get everybody to have Roku players and Apple players and stuff like that. So I just put everything up on the website. So if you go to our page, the www.thechartedlife.net/TV, you can watch all of our videos, and you can watch our live events, and you can catch all these things that are going on the TV. So you don't even need to have a Roku player anymore. If you have one, it's a little bit more of a immediate experience. There's a lag time on Facebook and things like that. But if you want to get the free option and you want to watch it on the website, go for it. Go do that. So 252-499-0087 is the number to call, and if you want to, you can give us a call. And I tell you what, here's what we'll do, Jennifer. I'm a wild man. If you call in tonight and you screw your proverbial courage to the sticking post, we'll give you a hat, okay? We got a hat to give you. Not my hat. It's going to be just like this hat. And we'll give you a free Charted Life hat. And the first person to call in and give us an opinion, a good opinion, and have to be something we agree with. If it's no, I'm kidding. We don't have to agree with it. We just want your opinion. So give us a call at 252-499-0087, and we'll give you a hat for calling in. So please give us a call, because we'll give you a hat. There are people watching. I do see there are people on there. I think Jan left. I think I have insulted her, unfortunately. But there's at least a couple people watching on there, and I have no idea if there are people watching out there on YouTube or on our website or anything like that. I should be sharing this all over the place, but I just don't have the capacity to be able to do that while I talk to you on air. But let's see. Maybe somebody will haunt upon us, and they will see what's what, and they will give us a call, and they will say, hey, I have an opinion on the Barden Inlet. And, there's all kinds of different opinions about there. Maybe you are one of these people that says, you know what? I want everything that was ever built in this country to stay the exact same, and they've got to spend whatever they have to spend in order to make that thing work for everybody. And then there's the other side of the nickel, which is, you know what? God put it there. Let God take care of it. I grew up in a town in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Grew up next to that town, but I worked in that town for a long time. We had a mayor named Jasper McClevey. Jasper McClevey was a very miserly kind of mayor. He didn't like to spend money. And so one snow came down, and it just snowed. It was like 20 inches, 24 inches of snow. And he hadn't funded the snowplow budget, and so it just sat there. And the reporters got to him, and they asked him, and they said, why did you just leave the snow there? And he said, well, God put it there, let him take it away. And that was his feeling on pretty much everything. So maybe you're one of these types of people that says, you know what, if God wants this channel to remain open, he will allow it to stay open for us, and if he doesn't, well, we just have more beachfront. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I need your opinion. Give us a call at 252-499-0087. 252-499-0087 is the number to call. I am Captain Chris German. This is Conversations at the Helm on the Charted Life TV. And this is officially our third episode. Yeah. So we're still building our viewership of this show, but hey, guess what? We need to get people to call. So you are watching, you need to call. Yeah, you guys, right there. The one that's eating the Cheetos and you just spilled Coke on the motherboard there, dude, on the keyboard. Would you please be more careful? I need you to call in. So put the Coke down, put the Cheetos down, get rid of the Eskimo bar and put it back in the freezer, and give me a call at 252-499-0087. I'm getting the high sign that I have to shut up for a little while because we have to play some commercials. This is what keeps the lights on, and I might be back to talk to you in this commercial break. I don't know. You're going to have to wonder. Okay, let's take a break. Jennifer will be right back after these messages. Hey there, I'm Captain Chris German, and I'm coming to you for the Charted Life. And we really want you to know about Sarah K. Photography. She was the photographer for our wedding, and she is a phenomenal artist when it comes to camera work, and she's perfect for your weddings, as you see through these photos that I'm offering right now, or for your high school or graduation photos or family photos or whatever you need. So if you're looking for a great photographer in the Beaufort area, call Sarah K. Photography, 252-646-9033. Hello everyone, this is Captain Christopher German, and I am coming to you from Conversations at the Helm, and this week we're going to talk about the need to advertise. Yes, there are things called advertisements, sponsorships if you will, and quite frankly, television shows and radio shows and other shows like that cannot stay on the air unless you do so. So if you have a business that you would like to reach 380 million people all the way back in jolly old England, you should give us a call at 252-617-3792 and get your advertisements listed with us. We absolutely would love to create a video for you, and we would love to have you on our television station. So please give us a call at 252-617-3792, and we really would love to talk to you about advertising on the Charted Life TV network. And I'm back. Holy cow! I just kind of just kind of zoomed in and out of. I think I'm double personality or something like that. I was once told I was double jointed. Maybe I'm double personality too. No, I'm not actually flexible at all. I have no flexibility. You can ask your wife. I groan like a 37,000-year-old man in the shower. You know, she's like, she calls in there while I'm showering. It was like, "Are you all right in there? Oh my God, the noises you're making." So yeah, I'm not double jointed or double personality, but I do like to exercise my multilingual talents. Maybe I'm not any good at it, but if you wanted to advertise, I could use any kind of voice you want. I could do all kinds of things. I could do German, I could do Russian, I could do anything. But today, this evening, we're talking about Barden's Inlet. Who was Barden? I don't know who Barden was. Was Barden the guy that actually donated the land out there and said, let's put a lighthouse out there? If you know the story of why it's called Barden's Inlet, give us a call at 252-499-0087 and tell us who Barden's Inlet was. Who's Barden? I don't know who Barden is. Do you know who Barden is? Do you know who Barden is? I don't know. It's not even a name around here. We have all kinds of names around here. There's Chadwicks around here, and there's Willises around here, and there's all kinds of other names. The Styrens are out at Cape Ocracoke, and you know, we've got all these names around here, but you don't hear the Barden name around here a lot very much. So maybe he was one of these old English people. You know about Beaufort. The Lord Beaufort was an English lord, and that's why Beaufort is named Beaufort, and Beaufort County is named Beaufort County, and Beaufort, South Carolina is also named for Lord Beaufort. They just pronounced them a little bit differently. But who was Barden? Do you know who Barden was? Oh, we've got somebody to tell us here. This is what Wikipedia says. Barden's Inlet is the southernmost of the Outer Banks water inlets, located just northwest of the Cape Lookout in the U.S. state of North Carolina. The inlet connects Onslow Bay of the Atlantic Ocean with the Core Sound. It separates the Shackleford Banks from the Core Banks. First.
Paragraph.
I read the first paragraph.
It's a congressman.
Oh, he was a congressman, really? Oh, I didn't get down that far. She read ahead of me, and now she just handed it to me. She didn't tell me what I should read. All right, Barden was opened by the 1933 Outer Banks hurricane, separating Shackleford Banks from the South Core Banks. The new channel gave Harker's Island fishermen a new direct access route to offshore fishing grounds, and it was named Barden's Inlet after the U.S. Congressman Graham Barden, who sponsored legislation to require the United States Army Corps of Engineers use dredging equipment to maintain the new channel. So he's the one that came up with the money, and he's the one that decided, and we don't have a congressman right now. So, boy howdy, what are we going to do? We need one of these Congress people, the 17, 18 Republicans that are running for the Congress seat here, or one of the, oh no, we just had the primary, and Tom, what was Tom's last name? I don't know, Tom the Democrat it won the Democratic nod, so maybe one of them can stand up and say, let's save Barden's Inlet, and then we could change the name and turn it into whichever congressman decides that he wants to keep it open then. But there goes your historical argument, is that it's always been there. It's not always been there. It used to be, and they'll tell you this if you go out to the Cape Lookout Lighthouse, used to be that there was a giant whale oil production thing happening out there on Shackleford Banks, and they would bring the whale oil from the production place over to the lighthouse, and these guys in these wool suits in the middle of North Carolina summer had to go up something like 300 flights of stairs to bring the oil up to keep the light going, and it was all connected. And then the hurricane of 33 came through, and it put a big cut through there, and so they've been maintaining it ever since thanks to the largesse of the American government. And unfortunately, American government's not as largessful as it once was. They don't have the money to spend that they once did, supposedly, and things like Barden's Inlet have to go on the chopping block. So, Harker's Island, you're not a priority, apparently, and because none of you are calling, I'm guessing that either A, you don't know about me, or B, you don't care. I'm thinking it's probably you don't know about me, because I know you do care passionately, and maybe I just didn't market this thing as well as I could have. But let's try it one more time, because we have 3 sets of eyes on there right now. Should Barden Inlet close? Call us at 252-499-0087. 499-0087, and give us your opinion. Tell us, did you know that it was created in 1933 by the storm? Did you know that Congressman Barton made it into a navigable harbor? Did you further know that, it's shelling up because God wants to take it back? So who are we to argue about that? Give us a call, 252-499-0087, and let us know. What do you think? Do you think Barden Inlet should be closed up? They're not going to close it down. And as he said in the video before, it's not like they're going to go out there and put a giant road closed sign and yell at people for going out there. But they're just not going to maintain the buoys anymore. So there's going to be probably some more groundings. And if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to be able to find it. And it's a lot like that thing in the Pirates of the Caribbean. You can only find it if you know how to get there, So that's the way Barden's Inlet's going to be eventually, is it's just going to fill right in. Carolina Beach is facing the same thing. That's also what happened with Ocracoke. Ocracoke, if you remember back in the day, you probably don't remember, but those of you that had grandparents that lived out there, remember that Ocracoke was one of the biggest fishing villages on the entire eastern seaboard, and it's also the place where Blackbeard hid out. And it was navigable for that period of time. But over time, it started shoaling up. The storms started throwing things in there. And I just shot that inlet last year. And it is a dicey inlet to get in and out of. And besides that, you got to go out all the way around Cape Lookout to be able to get back to civilization. And so it's not exactly the most convenient of inlets anymore. So they've just let it dry up. And the town of Portsmouth is no longer. And the inlet there is only slightly maintained. And, the reason why they do it is because that's the only economy really for Ocracoke is tourists. So, why is Ocracoke made into a place to visit, whereas Harker's Island, that's not it. So give us a call at 252-499-0087. That's the number to call, and tell us what you think. Should Barden's Inlet close? Barden, the congressman, 1933 congressman, and he came up with a big fat paycheck, and he managed to guarantee that thing was going to be left open. Barden died a long time ago, and nobody is stepping up in Congress to come up with the funding to make that channel exist anymore, and so it's going to fall to the Parks Department, or it's going to fall to the Army Corps of Engineers and have them come up with the money to pay to keep that channel open. And if Congress is so busy doing their things and there's nobody paying attention here because we don't have a Congress person right now, it could be just by the state of affairs we may lose Barden's Inlet. So that's where the people have to come together. If you really, really want to get involved in this, we can all arrange to talk to folks over there at Parks and Rec. We can probably get the senators involved. We don't have a congressperson right now, but we will in a couple of weeks, and maybe that's what we have to do, is get a punt on this one and wait for a congressman to be elected and have him stand up for us up there in the U.S. House of Representatives. But we got 11 people watching right now on Facebook. That's 11 people are watching, Jennifer. So if you're watching, it's back down to 8, 7. No, keep watching, come on. 252-499-0087 is the number to call. 252-499-0087 is the number to call. Do you have an opinion about Barden's Inlet? Should Barden's Inlet stay open? I don't know. I'm from off. I'm from way off. If you could tell by my accent, I am Connecticut bred and born. I'm just here to tell the stories and hear the stories. So if you have a story about Barden's Inlet, I want to hear it. Tell me about it. I want to know what it was like, why everybody loves that thing so much. Why does everybody go out there and enjoy it? Tell us about your experiences out there. Tell us about you being a kid out there. We want to hear those stories. 252-499-0087. Should Barden Inlet close? That is the question of the night, and there's 7 people watching on Facebook. Sandra Cope Thornton Hargis says, no, it should not close. We should put some effort into cleaning it up. Thank you, Sandra. And thank you, Jan. Jan thinks it should stay open, too. Who else? If you don't want to call in, just comment on the Facebook page, and I'll call you out there. Or maybe you put a really controversial comment up there and start a good fight on Facebook. You know, it's a better way to spend a Thursday night than to beat up your friends and neighbors on Facebook. That's what we're doing these days. Should we? Tell me. I need to know. Should we let Barden Inlet silt up and die, or should we take action and dig it out again and keep it so that it can be navigable for future generations to use? This is the question of the hour. So you can call in at 252-499-0087 to talk live on air. Or we got a break coming up in a couple of minutes, and we could potentially talk to you off air if you wanted to talk to me off air and just give me a different opinion on that. But it's up to you. Got 10 people watching on Facebook right now, and the nice part about this is it's going out all over the place. We just loaded all of our videos up onto our website. You don't have to have a Roku player to watch us anymore. You can watch from any internet-connected device you want to and travel and go places and see things and do things and watch what we're doing. 20,000 viewers. Oh, this weekend. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jennifer wants me to tell you that. I'm going to talk about that when we come back after the break. But we had a massive success this weekend at the Annapolis Boat Show. And we're going to do a little wrap-up at the the end of the show so you can see what the Annapolis Boat Show looked like. So, coming up on quarter past the hour, this is you're running out of chances to voice your opinion. 252-499-0087 is the number to call. 252-499-0087 is the number to call. Do you have an opinion? Should we close Barden's Inlet? Should we, just let Mother Nature take it over and let it go? The question may have to be postponed to another day because no one's calling. A single tear runs down my cheek. That's all right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about the Annapolis Boat Show. I'm Captain Chris German for Conversations at the Helm. This is the Charted Life TV. Jennifer, fire away.
Hey there, I bet you thought this was another episode of Sailing Friday, and it's not, okay? The reason it's not is because we are trying to create some new programming for this channel, which will involve all kinds of good people around the world. Currently, we're in discussions with people up in Ontario, we're down in Florida, and then all the way down in Martinique, we have another program we're working on bringing to you. And then we're also bringing you this tiny home, which is going to be broadcast right here in little old Beaufort, North Carolina. And I think there will be me and hopefully a couple other people, and it's going to be fun. But we're going to interview some talent tomorrow, and we're still trying to bring all that together. So that's what's coming on board for the Charted Life TV, and we do want you to stay tuned and catch all these cool programs as we bring them out. We're looking for sponsors, we're looking for talent, we're looking for camera assistants, we're looking for all kinds of good stuff, and of course we're looking for advertisers. So we're bringing the Charted Life TV to you so that you can enjoy the mobile lifestyle wherever you may be. So for the Charted Life, I am Captain Chris German, coming to you from the studios of the Charted Life Television Network, and I thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to the Charted Life TV. Thank you.
Hey, welcome to Alaska Local Music. I'm here. I'm Lance here with Chris Talley.
How's it going, Lance?
What's going on?
What are you into? And he's like, I'm actually a rapper. And I was like, oh snap, that's dope because
Yeah, I've seen that on
And,
Facebook.
you know,
It's great to have someone that supports you and be behind you.
oh yeah, yep, exactly.
And we're back, and it's the final 15 minutes of Conversations at the Helm. It's the third episode. We've done it very, very well for the third time, and we didn't even have to mess up the sound this time. Everybody could hear us talk, I think, and primarily that's because we didn't hear a call. So I'll still leave it out there. If you want to call in this last segment talk about anything, just give us a holler. 252-499-0087. You can give us a call about general things. That would be fine. We'll open it all up. But I'm going to use this last segment to talk about the Charted Life TV, and I'm going to tell you about the Annapolis Boat Show. We spent the weekend playing up in Annapolis, and it was a lot of fun, despite the fact that we had a tornado the first day. You guys had a tornado here in Beaufort as well. And we had wind the second day, and then the third day was just kind of drizzly and wet and gross and whatnot. But it was a great show nonetheless, and we had a tremendous viewership on that. We had like 20,000 people checking out our videos that weekend. I hesitate to say maybe as much as 30,000. We knocked it out of the park this weekend, and tons of people checked it out. And that's the advantage of this medium, because we're really going to talk to people where they live, and we're really reaching them on their phones and whatnot. And we can now do this without the need of a Roku player, because it's up on our website, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. Your brand can be seen anywhere now. It goes out to a tremendous number of people. Now, what we need you to do, all 7 of you that are watching right now on the channel, we really need you to share it, okay? Share it with your friends. Share it with your neighbors. This is something that's around here, and it's for you to come on, because we have the Charted Life After Dark. We have Sunday Morning Spirituality. We are making this into a community station. So, we do our little Charted Life stuff and our boats and our sailboats stuff, but we have all the off hours, which are for the Charted Life After Dark, and Alaska Local Music has joined on, and they're going to be putting their stuff up there. But if you're a local musician and you want to get your stuff up there, come on, we'll get you on there, and we'll find a sponsor. Don't worry about the money, but we just want you to come on board and fill the overnight hours with live music or taped music, or maybe you're doing other things. Maybe you want to run a cooking show, and we can tape it at your kitchen and then put it up here. How about like North Carolina barbecue done on the Charted Life TV? How cool would that be? Let's find some good barbecue guys out there that want their own show. I got the cameras. We'll help you do it. Also, Sunday Morning Spirituality. Johanna Burkhart, is doing a spiritual broadcast right now over on her channel, and you can either watch us or her, but we're going to actually rebroadcast her programs on Sunday mornings, and you can check them out. And with that, we're hoping we've got some other spiritual leaders around here that want to dip their toe into the television arts and want to have their service or their sermon, or maybe they just want to do a call-in show. That's fine too, and we can do all all these things, and we're going to do those on Sunday mornings. So we're hoping that we can use this medium to really get our community engaged in this online streaming television thing. The new golden age of TV is what I like to call it. Because back in the day, I mean, you remember those... like when Elvis first started out with his music, he just walked into a little studio and he's paid $10 and they made him cut a record. And that record he took off and went someplace. Well, we don't play on records anymore. And quite frankly, if you're going to keep your pictures on YouTube, your videos on YouTube, the chances of you being discovered is, you know, needle in the haystack. There's like 4 billion people on there. So if you join together all on a television channel and we come up with our own content, some of it's going to be pretty good. And that's the way we're going to be discovered. And this tiny little place called, you know, the Crystal Coast is going to be found the world over. So that's the whole purpose of this show. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is to bring the world into the Crystal Coast and bring the Crystal Coast out to the world. It's a symbiotic thing. So if you want to get involved, give me a holler at 252-617-3792. That's the number there I always call up. I always cover up there. I cover it up there because I don't want people calling on that, because I can't get you to get onto the computer if you call this number. But if you want to get on the show, that's the number to call. 252-617-3792. And that comes to this phone right here. But if you wanted to call in right now, it's 252-499-0087. Maybe you have a question about, I want to be a television star, Captain Chris. How do I do that? Can I call in right now and speak to you live on air and find out about being a television star? I'm getting the old high sign from her. It's time for us to wind this thing up. It has been fun playing with you for the last hour. I do thank everybody that's watched out there. Sandra Cope, Thornton Hargis, Jan Howard Withers, I owe you both a great big kiss on the cheek. Thank you so much for watching. And everybody else that didn't comment or just watched in, big thumbs up to you as well. Thank you so much for supporting this and keeping some eyes on that. That's how we're going to get people to decide to advertise with us, is you watching. So you are building this station just by watching, and I can't thank you enough. Jennifer, count me down. How much time do we got left? 30 seconds. So with that being said, I'm Captain Chris German. This is Conversations at the Helm. You're with the Charted Life TV, and we're going out to 380 million prospective viewers worldwide. Thank you so much for spending this hour with me, and make sure you join us every Thursday night at 8, and look for the rebroadcast on Sunday night at 8 when we're going to play this show again. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Hey there, this is Captain Chris German. The day 3 of the Annapolis Boat Show has come to a close, and it was a phenomenal boat show. We managed to wander around and see some amazing boats, and we took a bunch of video of all these boats, and we thought you might like to see it. We also hope you enjoyed all the interviews that we did. We talked with Lance up in Juneau, Alaska, with Alaska Local Music, Lance Mitchell. We also talked with Jennifer Walensky with The Bus Story, and we talked with Kara and Eddie Fucci of Sailorama. They were down in Mexico, and they were down in the Bahamas. We also talked to Robbie and Justine down in Mexico, and it was a really great meeting with all these folks and talking with all these folks and sharing our creators' content and vision, and that's what the Charted Life is all about. Exploring this new media, the golden age, the rebirth of television is what I like to think of this. We're bringing all kinds of new people and new ideas and new ways of doing television to the air and on Roku, Facebook, YouTube, Chromecast, all over the place. We got the 380 million prospective viewers. Love doing this kind of stuff. My wife, thank you so much for helping me from the home base, and everybody else that made this possible. Alaya, and Lauren, and everybody that came out and helped out make this thing a big thing. Thank you so much for all your hard work. This was a great show for us, and we hope you enjoyed it. So now check out some of the videos that we did, because they had a fun time filming these videos. For the Charted Life, I'm Captain Chris German, and this was the boat show of the world. It is certainly the center of the sailing universe, Annapolis, Maryland, 2019 Spring Boat Show. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the fall.
I think this video is important to answer the question about this pirate that I married.
Thank you for watching our video. I hope you checked out some of the other ones that we have.
When I did that, the cord got a little too close to one of the burners when we were cooking, and I fried the fan.
Yes, indeed.
So we're over on this island.
Get the martinis ready for this.
Welcome to Alaska Local Music.